Welcome to Keeping It Real, where we talk business, money, and mindset.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody, the Keeping It Real podcast. On today's episode, we got Jordan. Jordan, welcome to the podcast, brother.
What's going on, bro? Thanks for having me.
For sure, bro. I gave you a little introduction, but for some of the people that do not know you, go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Sure. So, as you said, my name is Jordan. I'm a 22-year-old entrepreneur. I've been doing e-commerce for about 4 years now. And last year, I actually started a software company called Viral Vaults with the mission to help other people get started with their e-commerce business. We provide products and everything that they need to go out there and market those products, educational training, and basically the full suite to go out there and start your own business. So right now I'm working on my software company primarily, and I'm running an e-commerce brand on the side, and I make a little bit of YouTube videos as well. So that's me. And, I'm still working, trying to figure it all out, but that's where I'm at.
For sure, bro. I love your YouTube videos, by the way. I actually genuinely watch them as well. Not so much the e-commerce, because, I'm not really in that industry, but those mindset ones or those life ones, I definitely love watching those for sure, bro.
Hey, thanks, man.
So I know you said you guys started 4 years ago. Tell us the story of how you got started into e-com, your journey, how you got introduced into e-commerce or even making money online.
Well, I guess technically 4 years ago would be when I started drop shipping, but I actually been doing e-commerce for longer than that. When I was in high school, I started a clothing brand. It was just an idea that I always had. It was called Retrospect Clothing. I always been interested in Photoshop and graphic design. So I just was playing around, put some designs on some mock-up t-shirts, found a local screen printing company. I built up a website on, I don't know if you're familiar with this, Big Cartel. And I started running a little bit of traffic to that. I didn't know how to run ads at all, and nothing worked. So I tried to do a different marketing method. I bought some stickers and I started posting them all around my school and all around some secret areas in my city, like downtown. And it actually did well. I was making $100 a day when I was 15 selling t-shirts. And it was cool to see people at my school wearing my clothing. And that's where everything got started. I took the money that I made from that and I started selling sneakers. I always was interested in Jordans and Yeezys and all that stuff. So I started taking the money I was making from clothing and flipping shoes. And really, bro, in that time frame, it was just a hustle. I was just figuring it all out. So I did that for a couple years. And then I kind of put everything to a halt when it was time to decide to go to college, because I wasn't really making enough money to say I can't go to school. All the pressure was on me to go to college. So I said, let me take a pause on business. Let me go to school. I went to school for about 1 year. I did good. I got good grades, but I knew that there was more. So that summer after school, I took the money that they actually give you to buy books and I put that money towards starting my own dropshipping business and kind of combined all the skills that I've been learning over the years: graphic design, video editing, website design. And within the first 6 months, I was able to get that store to 6 figures a month. And from there, I scaled that store past 7 figures. And I started a YouTube channel, moved to LA. And it's been a crazy couple of years, honestly, since I started that first store.
That's unreal, bro. Wow. What's crazy to me is that you took your money that you're supposed to spend on college and started your dropshipping business. Then, what was the thought process then taking that kind of risk?
I knew it would work. In some weird, twisted way, I wasn't scared to lose the money because I knew it would work. And I think that's really important for people out there who want to start something. You got to have confidence. It's not that you're going to be 100% certain that it's going to work, but you have to at least believe that you can do it, right? So, and by the way, that $2,000 that I had for that, I ended up losing that $2,000. I had to go out and get more money to keep it going. But if I didn't gamble that $2,000, I wouldn't have been able to get the payoff anyway. So.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. And I relate to what you just said, man. I think a lot of people right now, they do not believe in themselves enough or have enough confidence when they do something. You know what I mean? Some people tell me that they are scared to start because they're scared to fail. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Let me actually turn the tables and ask you a question, bro. How do you build up that confidence in your journey?
Honestly, I think it was more of I got exposed to a lot of people that had very, very like a very, very strong self-esteem or very self-confident. And I seen like them just be, like, very successful. That was like a trait I noticed amongst like some of the top performers that I knew personally. And eventually I realized like the more I believed in myself and the more like, honestly, the main thing was like taking responsibility for everything. I think really understanding that no one cares about me but me at the end of the day. My parents can only do so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that was the main thing, is like understanding that no one's going to do anything for me but me at the end of the day.
Yeah, respect, man. Same here.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of my self-confidence. And that's what I like about like you, Jordan, is that even, we met through like, e-commerce and business and marketing, but I feel like we stayed connected because I'm not going to say, oh, we're different, we're better than everybody, but I feel like, you are focused on personal development and reading books and just growing as a person as well. And I'm interested in the same thing. And I feel like just focusing on that area of your life as well has helped me in business. Would you agree as well, to that statement?
1,000%. I mean, I don't think that I would have been able to make any money online if I didn't seek out personal development in some way. I'm not saying you have to meditate an hour a day or you have to read 100 books a year, but from reading books, it showed me that there's more out there. I didn't have anybody in my life that was making more than $100,000 a year, right? So how am I possibly supposed to know that that's a possibility? It was only through reading books like The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco and Rich Dad Poor Dad that I even thought about $1 million or six figures a month. Like, these things didn't even seem realistic. So yeah, man, I still to this day have so much to learn. I'm not one of those people that tries to act like they've got it all figured out. I'm still a student of the game, bro. So. Right.
Yo, that's a big epiphany I had recently, actually, about the whole, I don't know everything. I remember it just hit me. I'm like, yo, I'm only 20 years old. I actually haven't even lived like, half of my life at all. But I feel like I sometimes think that I know it all. I've figured it out. And that like realization made me so much more open-minded, into new ideas, new topics.
I feel like it slows you down when you start to get that ego that you've got it figured out. And it's cool if you have a certain amount of zeros in your bank or whatever, but guess what? There's still so much to learn, and there's always somebody that knows way more than you. So that's what keeps me going, to be honest. Like, understanding that I'm still a student, I'm still a rookie, even though I've made some money. I'm in this game for 50 years, 60 years. Right. So why would I stop educating myself at 22 years old? It's foolish.
Right. Other than just, reading books, what really inspires you to think bigger and understand the bigger picture?
Surrounding myself with people who are on a higher level than me. When I moved to Los Angeles, that was my number one goal, was to build a network of people that inspire me to push harder. And I can say with, full confidence that I was able to do that on a level that even I'm surprised by. I've been able to meet people that are younger than me, that are older than me, that have my income times 10. And it takes what you're doing and it shows you that it's cool, but you could take it to such a higher level. So yeah, man, reading books is cool. But when you pull up to your friend's house and they were able to have 6 cars and get their whole family right, and they're making $1 million a month, you say, maybe what I'm doing is not that good and I could work even harder, So
right.
Honestly, bro, I think that did it even more than reading books. Like, I'll give you another example. I'm hanging out with my mentor. This is actually in Florida. I'm hanging out with my mentor the other day, and he's like, hey, bro, check this out. He shows me his Vanguard account. He's like, I'm up 17%. 17% on $3.5 million. It's levels, bro. It's absolutely.
Oh, dude,
levels.
It's so funny you said that, because that's my phone wallpaper says there's levels to this shit, because I realized that no matter what, I got to remind myself, that this is I'm just scratching the surface. Can't celebrate too early. Like you said, levels,
Yeah, facts.
I wanted to touch on that. That was the next thing I had written down, was your experience living in LA for 2 years. As someone, you moved into LA with a good amount of money for someone your age, right?
It's relative, but I would say so.
Right. And how was that experience? And how did you change in those 2 years? And what were some of the main, I guess, lessons you learned just living there?
Well, I mean, I moved there when I was 19, so I was really a kid, bro. I had just dropped out of school. I was making some money. I couldn't really say that I knew who I was or knew what I wanted. I just knew what I was working on at that time. And I actually moved there alone. So I was living alone in my own apartment, and I got to spend a ridiculous amount of time by myself with my own thoughts. And I would say, the experiences, the parties, the moments, the events, those are all cool. But I would say the time that I spent alone has been the most important over the last 2 years, because it showed me what I don't like to do, showed me what makes me feel good each day. It really revealed to me what makes me happy. And I'm still figuring it out, but that was the biggest thing I would say. And it's kind of the opposite of what you would think, but being alone out there in that big pond, it really kind of woke me up.
No, for real, man. I'm experiencing that right now. As I've been living alone, I truly believe that every person, should take a time of just isolation, just to work on themselves, be alone with their thoughts. And, truly, I guess I wouldn't say like on some figure yourself out stuff, but just really focus on just growth and just working on certain thing. You know what I mean? And I think
it kind of forces you to do it.
Yeah, literally. This quarantine kind of proved that for me. I feel like a lot of my friends that I know, they have grown so much in the last 2 months. And even me, like I say, like this last 2 months, the growth I've had, I feel like it would have taken a year if it was, if the world was still normal.
Yeah.
How has quarantine been for you? Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. But how has quarantine been for you?
It's all good. Honestly, bro, at first, it really felt exactly the same as my normal life, because I'm sure you're just like me. I wake up, I'm at home, I work at home, I go to the gym, whatever. There has been some minor adjustments, I would say. Without being able to go to the gym, I've had to work out at home, but not much has changed on the negative side. I've just been working harder. The store has been doing better because there's more traffic. My YouTube numbers are up because more people are watching content, I guess. But I guess I can't say I've had like some major transformation during quarantine. I've just been working the same way I have been before. So yeah, nothing really changed, bro. Just some good numbers.
That's what I like to hear, man. What's the main thing you're focused on right now? Is it still growing Viral Vault?
Well, if I'm being 100% transparent, I'm actually kind of in a period of trying to figure out which project to focus on. I love the software and it's making a decent amount of money, but I kind of worry about the long-term scale of this project, just due to a couple reasons. To be honest with you, man, I'm really focused on my e-commerce brand. I think that's what has the most potential scale for long-term. And I focused on my software for the last year without nearly touching any other projects. And to me, it just seems like software is one of those games that's like a 3 to 5 year thing before you really see it take off. And for me, I'm ready to play that game, but I also want to see some growth in this next year to 2 years. And e-commerce really is one of the best channels to do that, especially with this brand I'm building now. I just have to put more attention towards it. So yeah, I would say the brand, to be honest. Viral Vault has kind of taken a back seat. Still growing though, just not,
Right. Hey man, what I like is that, you are still like, there's some people, you know what I mean, that get in this position where they have so much time and money and energy invested that they will never leave it because they're scared. What I like about you is that I feel like you're not scared of taking risk or like doing actually what you truly want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what keeps it interesting.
Right. Yeah, and that's the main thing. I think a lot of people in, the young entrepreneur niche or whatever you might call it, they don't understand it. I feel like some people are so closed-minded to just one thing where it's like, and you know what? I've fallen into the trap. I don't know if you have as well. It's like for me, I got my initial money from emails. So I thought, holy shit, this is my life, like a big marketing company. I was like looking at my heroes were like marketers, like some top marketers. And then I feel like recently I had to I think it was the same thing. Quarantine did that to me where I was like a time of isolation where I had to really figure myself out. And I realized, damn, I don't really want to do this email thing or just want to be known as the email marketer. You know what I mean? And ever since I made that transition, not only have I made more money, I feel like I've been so much happier as a person.
Yeah, I think it can be a good or a bad thing. when you start to look over the fence, when you already have something that's working, and then you start to think, oh, well, maybe I should do this instead. Honestly, I would say that if I didn't try other things out, I would potentially be in a greater position financially than I am now if I just picked one project at 19 years old and I've been focusing on it the whole time. But on that same note, if we're looking at it in the macro, in the long term, I think that me experimenting, trying out software, posting content on YouTube, working on an e-commerce brand, I think it kind of diversified my skill set. So when I do go all in on a project, I have more tools in my toolkit to go at it with. So, I can say that I can look at that as a good and a bad thing, so it really depends, but I think
that's actually true. Yeah, I think that it really does depend too, because last thing you want to do is also have a shiny object syndrome where it's like, I don't want to do this. I might try that because that's making a lot of money. Oh wait, that's making a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I've been guilty. I've been guilty of that. I'm not here to come on and say like I've had a perfect entrepreneurial career. Like I haven't, I've definitely had a project scale. And then my first thought is, let me take this money, flip it into something else. So I would say one piece of advice for somebody who is listening to this, when you're setting a plan for a business, don't look at it over 1 year, do at least 2 years. Think about how's that project going to go over the next 2 years. And the actions that you take each day are going to be different. The way you plan your goals each month are going to be different. And at the end of the 2 years, you're going to have a much bigger project.
That is so true, bro. I think the sad part right now is all of us are so used to just like instant gratification. And also, I mean, even in the e-com world, bro, you can start a store today and make money tomorrow, right? So I feel like that ruined a lot of people's perception of like what a business actually is or could be if you just focus on the long term, you know what I mean? And sacrifice maybe early on. Bro, I kind of want, I want like young entrepreneurs to kind of focus on that. I've been trying to kind of spread that message a little bit more, which is like, think about the long term, like my money is good now, but think about, am I still going to be making that same money 2 years from now with this, what I'm doing right now? Exactly what you said,
Yeah, look, I think that when you're first getting started, it's good to have that business that's going to generate you some cash flow so you can then invest that into your long-term project. But also, if you have that intuition for a project that you want to work on for years, just do it. Even if you don't have the money right now, figure out how to get the money. A lot of people, they try to say, I'm going to start this, and then start this. When if you look at Jeff Bezos, he just started Amazon and he just worked on Amazon until it finally took off. So, I think that's really the way that you have to look at it.
For sure, bro. The next thing I want to touch on is, those moments where you might feel complacent because, you're making good money for your age. What is it that really keeps you going? Or just to even reiterate that question, like what is it that motivates you to do what you do every day?
To be honest with you, bro, I don't really feel like I've had any moments where I felt complacent. Maybe for like a couple days or so. But I always have been a very competitive person. I played sports my whole life. And as long as I know that somebody else is logging into the ads manager every single day and competing against me, I'm hungry because I know that person is putting the work in. So what keeps me hungry is knowing that there's so many people that are in my industry trying to sell what I'm selling or something similar. I got to show up. That's really it. I don't have like some deep philosophical answer to that. It's just I know that other people out there doing it, so I don't want to fall behind. Right.
And is there like do you have like a I made it moment for you? Is there like a long-term goal? You know what I mean? I know you said it's the competition, but is there like a long-term goal that you're looking out for, or do you even have one set? Just like how, Gary Vee wants to buy the Jets or something like that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I really want to start a record label in this next 5 to 10 years. That would be my ultimate dream because I used to play music my whole life, basically all through middle school, all through high school. I played percussion in the band, and I always been a marketer as well. And my passion has always been music. In LA, I met so many amazing artists, one in particular that I really want to work with, and I think I could break him as well. So that would be my long-term plan. But for right now, the priority is just scaling this e-commerce and software brand. But yeah, I would love to start a record label.
That would be really cool, man. I've met some people in the music industry in Toronto, and I've been learning so much more about the music industry. And it's definitely interesting. There's a lot of money in it. You actually have a passion for music too, though, right? Like you said you've been thinking, but you make music, right?
So it's not even about the money for that long-term play. When it's time to jump into that play, the money is not even an issue. That's purely a project that I would do out of love. And I have a passion for it, man. I've always loved music. I've always been a creative. I've always made music my whole life. So I'm not an artist by any means necessary. But I guess you could say I'm an artist, but I'm not a rapper.
Soon, bro. Soon. Once you cash out from all the e-com money, bro, just be a rapper. Just be dropping your own records.
No. Not me. I don't have to look for it.
Speaking of money, like how has your view on money changed, from when you started to where you are at now?
At first, I saw it as survival. Now I see it as a tool.
Right. Explain more about, like, I guess, I get what you mean, I guess, but just elaborate for some people that might be like, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so when I say at first I see it as survival, I mean that I literally couldn't afford to stay in my own apartment with roommates, and I could only afford to get a Chipotle bowl, eat half of it, and then eat the other half the next day. So that's what I mean by survival. I wanted to have enough money to get my own spot, eat whatever I want, take care of my brother, my mom, do whatever I can for that. Now, when you have money and you're building a business, you realize that you can deploy your money. So you say, okay, I want to build a software. I'm going to need $50,000 for that. So let me set aside $50,000, put that up with a development team and see where it takes us. So money can open up a lot of doors for you as well. I mean, especially if you're somebody who's lost or looking for something to go, pay to get into a network meeting, pay to get into a Tony Robbins seminar, start talking to people. Money can be very useful when you have it and use it the right way. It can also be a tool for the worst. If you blow your money on stupid stuff, which I'm sure we've all done before, right? You blow your money on stupid stuff, that tool is going to mess you up pretty badly. So yeah, I don't know, man. Right now, I just see it as something that you can use to deploy for whatever you want to do.
Right. And detachment, I've noticed that detachment from money has actually made me more money when I kind of like not put so much importance on money. And I feel like I lost a lot of fear as well when I really started detaching myself or detaching emotions from money.
Yeah, I'm a simple guy, bro. I don't really need to have this like $500,000 a year income to live my life. I don't need much. I'm not big on crazy flashy cars and stuff. I want to have a nice apartment. I want to take care of my family. I want to be able to eat good food, and really just live a simple life. My money is best used in investments and used for my business, period. And I think I'm always be that way. I do want to get a house, in the next couple of years, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. It's just a bigger box.
Well, yeah. Would it be in LA or Florida? The next house?
I don't know yet. Probably get a house in Florida. A house in LA makes no sense. The real estate market there is so trash.
Right. By the way, do you still meditate consistently?
Yeah, pretty much every day. Since I came back to Florida, I've been a little bit up and down with it because, it's like an environmental change.
Right.
Yeah, I think I got a pretty large headspace streak. I think I was on like 280 something, 283.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. Wow. Like, talk more about like how meditation, I guess, has helped you, because I've been trying to put a lot of people onto meditation, and I tell them, I'm like, listen, you won't feel anything more times when you do it, but trust me, bro, once you just consistently do it, it helps. How has meditation helped you with, just, I guess, life?
At first, I thought it was a waste of time, and I never did it. And then I avoided it for like a couple months. But I realized that I have anxiety, and my brain is always just kind of running. If I take 20 minutes in the morning, that's like a natural anxiety medicine for me. If I take 20 minutes to reaffirm what's the focus for today, what are we trying to accomplish for this month, and what are we even doing this for overall? When I'm done with that 20 minutes, when I go to sit down on my computer, not only am I going to be sharper, but I'm going to feel much more confident about what I'm doing. And those thoughts are going to be a little more quiet. Now, if I wake up, I get some tea and I sit down at my computer, my brain is just firing on all cylinders. And I don't necessarily like working like that. I like working in a place of flow where my brain is a little more quiet, a little more at peace, and I can really lock in. So I meditate in a way that's probably not the traditional way. I don't really care. And I don't think you guys should try to find a specific method. Just figure out what works for you.
Yeah,
me,
that's the best thing. Figure out what works better for you. What's your method? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, bro, you don't have to apologize. For me, I just try to figure out what am I doing today. So I usually plan my day the night before. And then while I'm meditating, I'm thinking about what is it that I'm working on today? What is that going to look like? What is it going to look like when I'm done? I think about what is that going to look like over the course of the week. I guess in short, you could say it's just visualizing the day and the week ahead. It's not like I'm like visualizing myself in 10 years and saying some mantra over and over again. I keep it simple, man. I keep it simple.
Right, man. I see some people, man, they do like so many different like weird meditation. I'm like, what's even the purpose at this point? Like, you're just trying to go in the weird route. I think you forgot the intent of this.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, it works, right? And I also think that everybody's looking for like an app or some secret strategy or something like that. Like realistically, if you're meditating, you shouldn't even need an app. Like you shouldn't even need somebody talking in your ear. Like just sit down and do nothing. That's what meditation is at the end of the day.
On some stuff, like try a lot of it and try, see what works for you and just go from there. Just touching into that, are there other things that you like to do, that are not directly linked with business, but indirectly help you with business? You know how like meditation, even though you don't do it for business purposes, it indirectly helps you because, it helps your decision you're making or just helps you clear your mind. Are there other things you do as well, or other activities?
Yeah, going to the gym is a major one. Going to the gym is that time where you just let go of whatever happened during the day. If you had a bad day, let it go. Hit those weights. If you had a good day, take that energy, put that into the weights. For me, I see working out as like a spiritual thing. I don't even care about the gains or anything like that. Those come from showing up every day.
Even though you got really big, bro. Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's the secret to it. I bet your mentor, Brandon, would probably say something similar. It's like, it's not even about like thinking about, oh, I got to show up and I got to get these gains. It's just show up every day and stay consistent with it. And I love working out, bro. I always have. And also on top of that, reading, but we already touched on that. So those are my three like keystone habits I like to do. I like reading, meditating, and working out. If I did those three things, I'm gonna be as effective as possible. Right.
And to actually, I forgot to ask you this earlier. What is your favorite book of all time, and what is the book you're reading right now? I always like asking people that question.
My favorite book of all time. That's a good question. I think I could give you top three.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Because it's like favorite book of all time is too broad.
It is pretty broad. It is pretty broad.
I really like The Power of Now. That was the first book that opened my eyes to understanding that I have all these crazy thoughts going into my brain and they're not helping me at all. And it's okay to be a little more present every single day. I love the book Mastery by Robert Greene. I think that's an amazing book, especially if you're somebody who has already made some money, but you're kind of struggling about what do I do with that money? How do I turn it into something amazing? Mastery is insanely good. And lastly, I would say The Slight Edge is a really good one as well. Just very practical, very straight to the point. I read that book years ago and it gave me some perspective on, what it really takes to get some stuff done. So that would be my top three.
Nice. Thank you, bro. I just wrote those down. I got to check. I've checked out The Power of Now, but I'm going to check out The Slight Edge.
You got to read Mastery, bro. You got to read Mastery, especially you.
Yeah. I got the Audible version. I'm still the thing is, man, this is me. I don't know if you can relate to this. I have so many books to read and to listen. It's like one of those ones where it's like I'm listening to something and then it's like, 50 cents book came out. And I was like, oh, crap. I got to listen.
That's what I'm reading right now, actually.
Yeah, that is probably my favorite book, like right now at the moment, bro. That's like my new Relentless. I just go back and listen to it. And I love that the Audible, he's the one that actually is talking. So, man, it's like entertaining and education at the same time.
Yeah, 50's the GOAT.
Well, what chapter are you on that book?
I'm actually almost done. I'm on the end credits. I finished it up almost yesterday. I got to wrap it up.
Yeah, the entitlement one hit me differently, bro. I think the entitlement one was my favorite one. Yeah, that one was like, that made me recognize like, yo, at the end of the day, no one owes you anything and you don't owe anyone anything. And I just stopped being nice, bro. But I realized sometimes I was just bending over back for people that wouldn't do the same for me. You know what I mean? And I just started saying every time.
I know all about that, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know too much about that, bro. Goddamn. But yeah, before we end the podcast, man, is there anything else you want to let the people know before we go, bro? Put all your socials below for sure.
Yeah, not too much, man. I would just say, keep following this guy. I don't really interact with too many people in this space. I got a tight circle, and this is one of those guys that I know in the next 10 years is going to be legendary. Somebody that I really even learned from myself. So, keep following the podcast. I'm sure he's going to have some amazing guests. And, just keep working hard on whatever you guys are working on.
100%, man. We got to do a proper video interview podcast, once I do come out to Florida, because once the quarantine's over, bro.
Come out to the 6th, man.
Oh, no, that's actually long overdue, bro. I think you definitely got to come out here. We got to show you around, man.
Yeah, for real, bro. Hey, it was good chopping it up with you, man.
For sure, man. Thank you for coming on again, bro.
All right. See you later.
Of course. Thank you for listening, everybody. Have a great day. That is it for this episode of Keeping It Real, everybody. And if you guys did enjoy this episode, I just ask for a small favor, and that is to share this with someone that you know would benefit from this podcast, as I really want to grow this community and this podcast through word of mouth, right? From you guys sharing it or telling someone to mess with this podcast or listen to this podcast or posting us on Instagram. And by the way, guys, if you do post us on Instagram, please use the hashtag Keeping It Real and tag me at SplashmanPB, just so I can see it, just so I can, stay connected with the family and interact with some of you guys. But yeah, like I said, if you guys want to keep in touch with me, my Instagram is at SplashmanPB. If you guys want to check out my YouTube, where I drop amazing content and amazing value as well, just search my name, Barik Shitbusnit, and my channel will appear. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.